Okay, so somebody wants to see me do the iPhone with this, with the OP-1. So I'm going to do that. And part of the reason you don't generally see that is because the iPhone is my regular phone and I get a lot of messages and all kinds of stuff that could interfere using it to record with, especially when it comes to like recording into something. However, it is super capable just as much as using the iPad. In fact, I'm recording with the iPad right now so you can see this. Hopefully I won't get a bunch of messages while I'm doing this. But if you turn this on, you'll see the mic is on. So you're going to have to switch over to USB-C. And then if you go into Koala, just going to use Koala because I got to take out my earpiece, by the way, too, because that interferes with it. So give me 1 second to put that down and away, or otherwise it won't work. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to adjust, if I can, the volume here a little bit to see if I can. So here's something I chopped up in Koala. We'll use that. I don't know what key that's in or nothing. I don't even know what tempo. What tempo did I put in here? Oops. Did it go off? Let's see if we can tap a tempo or something in, maybe. It's kind of slow. Let's see. Let's do, it was. Let's pick a tempo because I don't know what tempo that is. I'll pick something like 78. And I'm going to adjust the tempo in the iPhone to match it. Let's see what that does. And one way I like to check it is to see if I'll use. That's really slow. So I don't know the tempo on that. I tell you what, let's do this. Let's make it. Let's use AUM and we'll do something in here. So one of the things in here you can do, I'm going to pick a tempo at 78. I'm going to turn the metronome up here. Go back to the, let's pick an instrument that we can use. I like this decent sampler, piano, and then we'll use the MIDI. And then I'll use chord, because on here we don't have scalar. That's typically the iPad will house that stuff. And hopefully you can see this phone as I move it around a bunch of times. So it does recognize the OP-1 hardware, but we will be putting scalar into this. I'm gonna I have a library in there, load that up. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna turn this down. So if you wanted to use this instrument, you pretty much, this is tonality. You're going to pick some chords. We're gonna pick a Dorian. We'll use Dorian and we'll use ninths. And then we'll pick E flat or something like that. Go create. So usually I'll use an instrument in here, but this is the whole purpose of this video, is to show you can use instruments from your iPhone, right? So let's make this sound a little bit better. It's a little bit better. It's kind of loud. All right, so we'll just pick some chords and we'll start there. If you want to count in, shift forward, place your in. Let's do 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit the out. We have a count in, the metronome set, so then we'll press. We'll cut the front tail end off, lift that out. And now we can do some drums. So there's a couple ways to do drums. You can use koala, you can use Saitala, all these alas on the end of it. If you need to sequence the drums and you don't want to play them in, I would say do not use Saitala, because then that is going to require, there's a lot of stuff I like about it and a lot of stuff I don't like about it. And it requires, I think I have L-Dre kit in there. There's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no way to note repeat on this if that's what you want for your, we'll use those. All right. So then let's add in some kicks. Now I'm recording on the same one. Typically that would be a no-go for me. I would have put it on number 2. But since I messed up, I'm not going to go back and record it for the sake of the video. It'll be here all the time. But I'm just showing you can easily do the same thing. Get a count in on the second track now. Cool. Same principle. Shift. Oh, what did I just do? Cut. By the way, if you hold shift and hit this, it's gluing something together. Remember to do this. I showed you this in the last video. Turn the volume down. Although you can turn the volume down if you want to leave that up. You can turn it down in here on the actual instrument, which might be better for you. Okay, and leave this one up. All right, let's record that in. So we'll do a count in. You know, if I mess up, remember we have no undo, so you got to make sure you lift, drop, and then drop again. That way at least you have your kick, right? Now you can go back and start. Okay, get it? Boom, lift it. So if you do this method, I would say definitely make all your adjustments volume-wise in here. Don't stress here, because if you come here and start making adjustments, you might forget and it could get crazy, right? It's a lot to remember. Internally, if you're going to do it on here, obviously you're going to have to. But because you have the ability in Koala and all these other apps where you can do this, I would suggest do this way. I'll show you in a second the recording out too, by the way, portion of it. So it's easier to record in. I'm just going to be upfront about that. It's very much easier to record in. Recording out can be a challenge without the TX6, but it's not impossible. It's easier to do it in the computer. It's a lot more challenging in here. And I did a video on it recently where I showed you what you need to be able to do that, to be able to record on I think I showed you on the iPad. On the iPhone, when you're trying to record in, I think I mentioned this though, you're gonna need a lightning camera kit, right? To do that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's finish up here. All right, so you've seen basically recording into it. It's pretty easy. Let's just go ahead and jump right into what some people want to know, which is to record into the iPhone. So it's not easy as what we're doing now. We're going to have to do a process. So we're going to unplug here. We're going to plug in here. And then we got to get a USB, right, to USB-C. So I'm going to grab one of those real quick. Just give me a second. So you need a cable like that, right? USB, because you're going to send stuff into here. And then you need this in there, right? Then you need to open up Koala. So to do this, instead of me go into Koala to do it, which is probably the better way to do it. And I've done it in a couple of videos. I'm just going to do it in here since we're already here. It doesn't make sense to go. You're going to need to add Koala here. So if you're using Koala, if you're using another DAW like Cubasis or whatever, then just open Cubasis and go in there and do it. But I'm just showing you here. Then up here, you need the source to be the OP-1. So you'll see the OP-1 is not the left ear. That's crazy. Left and right. We need both, right? So let's say you wanted to record what you did. So now you open up this, you turn on the headphone. And that's what you get. Sorry about that. That's what you get when you do it, right? And that's so now you just got a clear evidence of what it does. Okay, so we're hardware in. So don't hit the headphone. You don't need that, right? It's going to record. But if you're going to mute out parts, then you can do that. So by using shift and mute, right? There's nothing on 3. So 1 has this and this has the little rim shot and the that. So hit record here. Why is it doing this simple recording? Hold on. That's my settings got messed up. It should be, you know what? There was an update done recently. I forgot about that. I think it messed up my settings. It did. Whatever they did on the recent update kind of jacked me up there. Use a 1 bar. I'll have to go back and check and see what else it messed up. AV3 clock. Okay, that's fine. As long as I don't have to tap to hold it. I mean, to record. That's crazy. All right, so hit there and then play it. Remember to let it go around the second time so you have a loop point if you're going to record out like this. There you go. So then you can stop it. And now you see you have a loop point. You know, I know it's the last bar on there. You just got to zoom in and line it up. Like so. Can you see that? Yep. And then go ahead and go to your tools right there and chop. Boom. So now you have a perfect loop. And you don't need to one-shot or loop it there. Just go into the sequence on here and then loop it. So what I mean by that is, if this is a 4-bar, which it is, you got to, by the way, you have to change this setting too. I totally blanked on that. Put that at 78. It's not going to affect anything right now, but just put that at 78. Now your loop should be on point. Double up. You're going to need to set that to 4 bars. And then just draw in your 4-bar, your solid bar there. Like that. Boom. Make sure you go all the way out on it too so you don't have... And of course, my finger will be keep doing this. Oh, joy of joys. All right, cool. There we go. All right, now you got that. So now it should play back in here. And of course it won't. Hold on a second, let me see. Why is it not playing back? Unplug that for now. You're not hearing it is why. Hold on. Oh, I forgot why. Because the headphones right here tripping. Sorry, I have it running through the SP and the SP was in like a sleepy mode there. So now you should hear. Let's try that again. And nothing, huh? That's weird. Oh, you know what? It should still play though. The out is the out. That's weird. Okay, you should be able to hear that. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Oh, see, there's somebody coming through. So I'm not hearing it either, which you should. Let's see. So it has it as the OP-1 out. I wonder if I should change that to... Does that need to be plugged in? Nope. I wonder if it's the settings in here, because everything's messed up since I did that update. It'd be under audio. Looks pretty good to me. Enable AV3 saving, warn about the sequences. Okay, so for whatever reason, I'm gonna unplug it so you at least can hear it. Should be able to hear it. Let me turn up the phone. That might be help. Let me see if I plug it up now. Yeah, for some reason, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. Usually it'll play and you can hear it though, but I'm not sure why it's not playing out like that. It's just weird. So this is part of the difficulty is iOS I mean, it's not just iOS, it's a combination of things, but this happens too with the SP. So it's not like it's one-sided or just TE. But for some reason it does this. And I'm just not 100% sure. Let's save as test video. Okay, we'll save it in there. Let's do this. Let's close down that and reopen, not audio share. Reopen there and see if that helps. We'll go to the last state that it was in. And we'll have to reload Koala and reload that file, which I called it test something. A lot of Koala songs in there. Tests, where did I put it? Goodness, test video, yeah. People are hitting me up. See, that's why I don't like using the phone for videos, for that reason. So weird. So this is part of the problem is, let's see here. Settings, go in here. And right here. So the input source and the output source cannot be both. It won't work right. So we were using it as the input source. Now we want it to go out. So the output source is saying the OP-1, and the OP-1 is not picking up this coming out, right? Hardware out, OP-1. So it should be, so in theory, it should be press play and you hear it, but it's not working. So unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to unplug the phone to show you that at least it does record it. Okay, and there's a loop. So I'm gonna end the video early. I did not plan to have that problem, and I don't want to spend a bunch of time trying to figure out how to fix it right now, because it's one of those things where I'm gonna have to test and see why it's doing that. Like why it should be able to plug in. Now you'll get feedback if you go one direction for sure. Let's put that back there. See, I mean, it's showing it's coming through there, but I'm getting literally no sound whatsoever. Let's unplug this and see if that helps. No, so it is sound coming into there. I'm just not sure why it's not. I thought it was the SP. Let me just try one more thing. I do want to try this because I don't want to give up so easily. But let's see. Here's a test. Let's do this. So instead of testing Koala, let's see if I go in here. Yeah, see, now I'm hearing nothing. Like literally nothing. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to shut this down, power it back on, and see if that helps. See, I'm hearing, it's so weird. Let me try to plug it back in and see if we can get I didn't mean to push that hard, but see if we can. Yeah, because the SP is on. The sound is showing up because you can see it when it goes through. Settings show it going output of the OP-1. Input is the OP-1, which is okay on here, but and even if I take this off, it should be able to go back through the speaker. Test, 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 test. See, I'm not hearing nothing. That is. So we hear sound. Okay, wait a minute. We got sound again. Something must have reset it in there. Let's see if it'll play this. Now it's working. Weird. Let me plug this headphone in and see. Okay, so these are some iOS issues. I'm going to be honest with you, because nothing else does this other than iOS. Like if I do it on a computer, it's fine. SP's fine. OP by itself, fine. Even when you hook it to other stuff, it works fine. But you'll have moments like this. So I apologize for this long video. That was 9:10, but it's a real video and showing you that there's issues sometimes with devices. So don't expect perfection when you get it, okay? All right, so it's a little loud. Let me see if I can. So you can do it. So how would you get the drums in? My advice would be drum this in, put your samples in here and drum it on the phone. But if you feel like you just really got to go for it, there's the option of recording in drums. So the way you would do that is just go OP-1, open up the drums. You'll see the drums coming through. Sorry about the way this is sitting, but the chords are short and I got to do what I got to do. So you already put this in the sequence here. So you want to hit record, not hit record there, I'm sorry. You'd want to play this in the background and then see if you can record in. But here's what you get. Just like you'll get on the SP if you do it that way. It's the same principle. You're going to get the whole track in, right? So what I find that is bad about using iOS stuff with it is it's cool to record in to here with the iOS. That's easy. But going out, you got to pretty much use like Loopy Pro, or if you're going to use Koala, you got to go into a sequence in here. One of the little sequence tracks that you can see up here. Put a blank one on. Press record. I mean, don't press record. Press the metronome in here on, or whichever metronome you want. You can put this one on. Okay, and then play your drum in on that beat like that without this going. Okay, so it'd be like this basically. Because that click in there will not record. So if you touch it now, you can go. Okay, stop it now. And you can see you can drum in. Oh, it did record it. That is so weird. Oh, you know why? Because I take that back, because when you're recording out of here, into here, through here, back into here to play it, it's gonna, that's what I was talking about. You can't get away without the metronome going. Even if you took this metronome off, it has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with the metronome that's going. You're having a feedback thing where it picks up the sound that you're recording out while you're listening to it. Hopefully that made sense. I said a lot of words there. But anyway, this is what I'm talking about. So to be honest, you can't really do it with Koala the way I would want to. The best thing is make a track and just record directly in. But what you need is a headphone. So what I mean by that is this. You'll need, just like I showed you for the iPad, if you can find this, and by the way, if you find this, let me know. where you found it, because they are hard to find. So for at least for the iPhone. Unfortunately, because the iPhone's still using Lightning, we don't have those options. But this particular cable here is the one that you need, really. But you need it with a Lightning on it and a headphone and a mic. Can you see that? Oh, I'm not even inside. Sorry about that. This headphone, this one here with a Lightning on it, with a headphone and a mic. If you have this, then it will work. But they don't make that I know of. And so the only option you have is pretty much this. So if you can find one of these with this USB maybe and a headphone jack, where you could at least plug some headphones in or something so you can listen while you record, then it might work. But I haven't found that yet. So I'm, like most people, I'm still on the hunt, okay? Just like, and so that's why I use the iPad. If I'm going to use iOS stuff, I just use the iPad, unless I'm just doing something to record into here, and then that's different. There's a lot of little hiccups, unfortunately, because nobody is making stuff based on what else you're using. They're making it based on their product, and so you have to figure out what works for you. So yes, you can record, but you cannot record directly. And so when you see these people recording that are using the TX6, the TX6 is an audio interface, okay? So it works. If you have an audio interface, they usually have loopback, so it works. So that's the reason why they could do that. And there will be, you'll see them using iOS and various stuff. But unfortunately, unless TE, and I've wrote to them about this, unless they put loopback in this thing where you can record in and use it back out, there's no way to use the audio. It is a true audio interface, because it's not really an audio interface. It's just the ability to record out or record in, either or, not both at the same time, and be able to hear it. And all they would have to do is get some type of virtual routing to where when you use the headphone or the plug-in out here, that you could use the headphone and listen in as the audio kicks back through. So just add loopback. That's really what we're saying. Just add loopback to the device so that we can just use it as a true audio interface. Then it becomes a solo device where you can use it with anything at that point and you're good. But I know for a fact they probably won't, because then who would buy the TX6? Because I think that's what their idea is, that the TX6 is that mixer / audio interface. But the thing is, people will still buy the TX6 because they like it. I think people would buy it because it does have other features, and it serves a purpose that this won't serve by itself, which is that you could hook multiple instruments to it. But if you're just a person who just want the OP-1 field, then just put the loop, guys, put the loop back on here for us. I'm being serious. All right, I don't want to rant any more than I've already done. You know how I am. I keep talking. But these are features that we need. If anybody has a solution to that they figured out that's better, and I've asked a few people around, and nobody's been able to come up with a direct solution other than get the TX6, which ain't happening right now because this thing is expensive. Y'all already know that. So yeah, we'll have to figure it out. But most of the time, I'll be honest, I record either into the SP or into the computer, because it's just easier and less stress. And I can still monitor it because I have headphone out on the computer. I have headphone out on the SP. So I have options to listen while I record. But anyway, just wanted to show you that 2 videos on OP-1 field. I'll be doing some more as I play and use it a little bit more. Maybe I'll find some things that can help to fix a lot of the problems that I'm running into. We'll see as time goes. All right, that's it for this video. I'm out.